Hello, I'm here on Church Street, McDonald's End on this busy but rainy Monday afternoon. Thought I'd best get this video done before it rains any heavier. How many generations, if not longer, do you believe it's taken to weave, if that's the right word, weave together to create, again if that's the right word, our unique Scouse character, traditions and cultural identity to form what we now know as our Scouse culture? How long do you think that has taken? Literally generations, as I say, probably even longer, right? Whereas what's happening now, our culture has been unwound backwards, right? Then it's going to be weaved back together again, but it will represent something completely different. I hope I articulated that. I hope that made sense, because that's what's happening, right? Here in our city, our unique Scouse character, traditions, and cultural identity, our Scouse culture has taken generations, if not hundreds of years, to get where it is today in the form of our unique Scouse culture. The world over, there isn't one like it, and there never will be. But what's happening now, like I've said, it's been unwound backwards, and then it's going to be weaved back together again, but representing something completely different. Once again, I just hope that made sense. Now, we cannot allow that to happen. This is our city. Everything about it is so unique. It can't be replaced. There can't be stand-ins, right? This is what my messages are all about. You can't just change what has taken generations, hundreds of years to be, which is our Scouse culture, our unique Scouse character, traditions, cultural identity. It's took, as I said, probably hundreds of years to weave that together to create what we have now, Scouse culture. Once again, if I've said that right. So that's why it's in all our interest to oppose further cultural change of our glorious city before it changes and we lose that unique Scouse character, traditions and cultural identity, because it can't be replaced. It can be changed, there can be stand-ins, but it'll never be the same Scouse culture we were all born into and familiar with, right? So that's why we must oppose unlimited amounts of new arrivals pouring into our glorious city with different ways, beliefs, values, standards, who not only don't fit in, don't want to, right? They don't want to fit in with the Scouse fam. They don't want to embrace the Scouse fam. They want to impose their ways, beliefs, values over our Scouse ways. And like I've said, what's happening is our Scouse culture is being unwound backwards. Then it'll be weaved, that's the right word, weaved back together again, but representing something completely different. I hope I made that clear, ladies and gentlemen, right? As I've said, I'm not an intellectual, I'm not a professor. That's what you probably need. You could probably put across better what I'm trying to say, but I think you get the gist, right? So this is our city, Liverpool. It cannot be replaced. There cannot be any stand-ins. It just cannot happen. There can be a few little contributions to our Scouse culture. There can be small amounts of new arrivals that are prepared to embrace the Scouse fam, or even keep hold of their unique culture, but only on a small scale. That's not a problem, but that's not what's happening, right? Kensington and Fairfield is a prime example of what happens when there's too many new arrivals, right? being dispersed in a Scouse community. That place then changes. Now, if Joe Owens is making it up, then what happens at Kensington and Fairfield? Yeah, it's been changed. You can see it's been changed. It's obvious it's been changed, right? You'd have to be in denial or in need of Specsavers to say otherwise. It has been changed. So that's what happens. So our unique Scouse character, traditions and cultural identity, what we commonly know as our Scouse culture, that has took generations to weave together what we have today. Right? Now, what is happening, like I've said, that's been unwound backwards, and it's going to be weaved back together again, but representing something completely different. Once again, I hope I've articulated that right. Yeah, I could say I'm not a professional speaker or an intellectual or a professor. I'm Joe Owens, that's all. But I think you get the gist where I'm coming from. So that's why it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that we must stop further large amounts of new arrivals being dispersed in our glorious city. Because if we don't, they will change our unique Scouse character, traditions and cultural identity. Our unique Scouse culture will be unwound backwards, weaved back together again, but representing and looking like something completely different. Something like you see in Hare Hills, something like we see now in Kensington and Fairfield. We can't allow that to happen. This city and everything it stands for, the legacy, the lot, our traditions, our customs, our Scouse dialect, everything, it belongs to the future children, grandchildren, all those amazing Scousers yet to be born. It belongs to them. That uniqueness, it belongs to them, to be passed down to them, right? No one else, it's theirs, right? Like I've said, small amounts of new arrivals could have quite easily embraced the Scouse fam, right? But that's not what's happened. Too many have been dispersed in our glorious city who have no intentions whatsoever of embracing the Scouse fam, but imposing their ways, beliefs and values over ours. And long term, that is a threat to our unique Scouse city. I'm going to go now, ladies and gentlemen. It's really getting busy, but remember, no to cultural change. Yes to Scouse pride. Shout it out loud. Scouse and proud. Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm still here on Church Street on this busy, cleared up now, no rain, Monday afternoon. To make my point, to further make my point, look what's happened to London. That unique Cockney character, traditions and cultural identity was unwound backwards, weaved back together again, representing something completely different. Fear, mistrust, parallel lives, you name it. It wasn't put back together again as the original Cockney culture, was it? No, the complete opposite. Once again, I've said that right. The complete opposite. It was unwound backwards, losing its unique Cockney character, traditions and cultural identity, weaved back together again, representing something completely different in every borough, right? It was weaved back together again, creating a culture, like I've said, division, mistrust, fear, parallel lives, you name it, right? That's what I'm trying to get across here, ladies and gentlemen. Will, in fact, is happening now to our glorious city, right? It is happening here now as I speak. Our Scouse, unique Scouse culture has been unwound backwards, and it'll be weaved back together again like London, representing something completely different. Fear, division, mistrust, parallel lives, losing its unique originality, right? It's getting really busy now, ladies. Okay, sir, getting really busy now. So that's to further make my point. London, look what's happened to London, Birmingham, Leicester, Hare Hills, Leeds, West Yorkshire, many other towns and cities across the country whose unique originality, culture was unwound backwards, weaved back together again, create a culture, fear, division, mistrust, parallel lives. We cannot allow that to happen to our glorious city. When I put it the way I have, and I hope people understand where Jones has come from, you can see this has nothing to do with prejudice or hatred or anything far right or any stupid nonsense, right? This is what this is all about. It's what's taken our Scouse, our unique Scouse culture, generations, hundreds of years, to be where it is today. You can't just unwound that and then put it back together again as something completely different. You can't do it. Well, you can, but you'll never have the Liverpool we all remember. Remember that. I'm going to go now, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I've made my point. Remember, no to cultural change. Yes to Scouse pride. Shout it out loud, Scouse and proud. Okay, thank you.